Hello kings and queens, and again we are back with this time a love triangle. What seems to be a love triangle but it is not, because people will argue that there's no love triangle here. There's just someone who hasn't understood that she is no longer part of the game, and this person is, I'm not telling you now, because before I start I want to tell you about my sponsor, Arcade, the gaming app that organizes beauty pageants every week, Monday to Friday. Submit a picture, and Saturday to Sunday you vote. So join now and collect your free cash to start playing right away. So in this episode I'll be discussing about 3 housemates. I've already dealt in detail about one of the housemates, but I only mentioned the other 2 in passing. But today I'll be giving you details about these 2 other housemates. So these 3 housemates we're going to be discussing about today are Nengi, Ozo, and Dorothy. Time for some quick biography, because we always want to know whom we're talking about. Dorothy Bacher Linda. Did I pronounce that right? Bacher? Let me know in the comment section. She's 24 years old. She comes from Lagos. She is an entrepreneur and she studied accounting at Joseph Ayo Babalola University. She lost her dad when she was 14 years old. So sorry about that. Ozoemena, did I pronounce that correctly? Ozoemena Ozochukwu is 27 years old. He comes from Imo State. He is an author. He owns an urban clothing line and is also a consultant. He was a sport analyst for the how do you say it? In Italy we call it UEFA, but I don't know how they say it in English. Do they say UEFA, or do they also say UEFA, whatever they say? Anyway, I'm going to be calling it UEFA because that's how I know it. So he was a sports analyst for a UEFA federation, and he considers that as his biggest achievement so far. Now, now, what is happening? It happened that the very first day of Big Brother Nigeria, Dorothy came in, Ozo came in, and Nengi came in. And immediately Ozo was like, Nengi is my spec. But I like Dora's personality. I like the fact that, I can speak with her, I can relate with her and everything. Again, with this personality thing, Ozo is practically another Erica. Yes, he's another Erica. But unlike Erica, Ozo knows that he is good looking and he actually uses his good looks to get women. Dora is not what I would call a conventionally attractive woman, but she is attractive nonetheless. She's very busty, and I think that everybody believes at this point that her bust is, her selling point. If you ask people why they like Dora, they'll probably make reference to the fact that, she has a big bust. Okay. Dorothy is definitely not a stupid person though. She knew very well that the situation was kind of like, not looking good for her. Because if you tell me that someone is your spec, and then you are being friends with me because you like my personality, that doesn't really go well with me. So what Dorothy did was to distance herself from the whole situation. Then also, of course, as the manipulator that he is, came and started feigning ignorance. Dora, why aren't you talking to me again? Why aren't you as if we don't know why you are doing what you are doing. Anyway, even though Dora distanced herself, also wouldn't give up, and he kept trying to be friends with her, and even chose her as his deputy when he was nominated as the head of the house. Now the problem is Nengi is still also spec. And now it has become obvious, because now the 2 are become glued together. They are eating cereal with the same spoon, or eating cereal from the same bowl, or even pecking, hugging. And if Ozo is talking with someone and Nengi comes, Ozo will leave the person and go and sit there with Nengi. And you are still telling me about spec and not spec. Who is deceiving who? The thing is that, like I said in that first video, Nengi is not interested in dating any guy in the house. And even though Ozo has told her that she is his spec, she is not interested in initiating any relationship with him. And now, as Ozo is even asking her on a date, that date is not going to happen inside the house. And even if anything is going to happen, it's going to be outside the house, because the lady is here for the 85 million. She is not here for, some stupid relationship drama or whatever. But the problem now is, because of this whole situation, Dorothy is now starting to see Nengi as a competition and as a rival. Many people will disagree with this, and they will say that Nengi is being intentional with her actions, towards Dora, and that she's doing it intentionally by being in Dora's face with Ozo's affection and everything. But I actually believe that this is just a consequence of her own strategy. Let me explain. It's not so much that Nengi is interested in making Dora jealous. She doesn't care about Dora because she doesn't see Dora as a competition. Ozo said it from the very first day. Nengi is his spec, and now he is acting on it. Dora is the one who is on the side and is making up ideas in her head, thinking that a woman as pretty as Nengi actually thinks of her as a rival. And because of this, Dora is now, acting catty towards Nengi. She is fueling a rivalry that does not exist. But Nengi is not even the problem. And even if Nengi was being intentional with her actions, she still wouldn't be the problem. The problem is Ozo. The problem is always the person who is giving you this impression that you have to compete with someone else for his or her attention. Today we are going to be analyzing the situation from the male perspective. So in the case of a man who is like between two women, one that he likes physically and the other one that he likes for her personality. It's a case of a man who wants to keep both women. He wants to eat his cake and have it. This is what happens when we see those situations where a man marries one woman and keeps the other woman as a mistress. Well, if I'm guessing right, he probably married Dorothy, because Dora looks like the kind of woman who will do anything within her power to save the marriage. She looks like the kind of woman who fights for her man, who fights for her relationship. Nengi doesn't look like that kind of woman. Nengi is not the kind of woman that you'll be married to and you'll be giving your attention to another woman and she will stay put and be hoping that one day your attention towards the other woman will fade and that you will be coming back to her 100%. It doesn't happen like that. Women like Nengi, is either they leave you or they go outside there and get a man who will give them 100% of his attention. One thing about this kind of men is that they are not indecisive. It's not that the man doesn't know what he wants. He knows what he wants. The problem is that he is selfish and he is greedy. If this man could go into, a lab and create a woman that he wants, he will create the woman to look physically like Nengi and to have the personality of Dora. That is not what an indecisive man does. That is what a player does. And it rhymes exactly with what he has already said. Ozo has said it himself that he has never been in a serious relationship. His tactic is walking on to a woman and telling her that I'm in a hurry, give me your number, I will call you. But if you don't give me your number, it's okay because I have other things to do. And because he's a fine boy, these women, they give him their number. That is not the attitude of someone who doesn't know what he wants. That is the attitude of someone who knows what he wants, but because he cannot find everything in one single woman, he's ready to keep as many women as he wants. He is not ready to settle. He's not ready to make compromises. He's not ready to prioritize. People who prioritize understand that in this life, it is almost impossible. In fact, it is impossible to find that one person who has everything that you want. So sometimes you just have to make a list of what your priorities are and then look for someone who has those quality traits. These men also love the attention that they get from seeing two women fight over them. They might go as far as creating conflict just to boost their ego, because the more they see these women, cat fighting, cat bitching or whatever between themselves, the more they feel relevant, the more they feel, attractive, wanted. I've already spoken about this when I spoke about Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez and his wife. Justin Bieber keeps creating situations where his wife and Selena Gomez would always, be bitching against each other But fortunately, the two women are not doing that. Hailey and Selena are cool. If you are a woman and you find yourself in this kind of situation, so you are one of the 2 or the 3 women, what is best you do is remove yourself from the equation. And if the man comes back to try and offer friendship whatsoever, be firm and tell him no. Besides, that you were able to get the attention of such an attractive man, trust me, you will get the attention of an equally attractive man. Another one, a man as attractive as Ozo, okay, does not walk up to you of his own initiative out of pity. Don't you ever become enemies with any of the other women. Never ever do that. Dora is making enemy with someone who doesn't even consider her important enough to make enemies with. And she is going to lose out. That is how you know who the one that is more likely to be the favorite is. If you have to fight for his attention, then you are not his favorite. So, invest instead in becoming friends with the other woman. Beat him at his game. That is how you do it. This season has so much material, and they are all relationship. Maybe they should have used these people to do Ultimate Love. Maybe people would have followed Ultimate Love if they had used this, people to do that one. Anyway, guys, I will see you in my next video to discuss another housemate. See you now. Bye bye.